Signore e signori, buonasera. Buonasera? Molto meglio. Welcome to New York University, Casa Italiana Zerilli-Marimò, for a fun evening, finally. Many of the things we do here are sort of somber, very serious, very academic, and of course we touch upon very delicate and very sad topics sometimes. Not tonight. Tonight we are here to have fun in an intelligent way, as you can when you have a guest like Lella Costa. As you know, this initiative is the first one of 3 that somehow repeats the paradigm that we started last year with KIT, our theater company residence. Last year, the main topic was lesbian, gay, transsexual themes, and we had an evening dedicated to those topics in Italian theater, an evening dedicated to playwrights and artists who worked on those topics in Italian American theater. And then we had the Festival of KIT, 10 minutes, one-act plays from all over the world, literally, that were presented here. And the winner of that competition got staged during In Scena, the great Italian film festival that happens, theater festival, that happens in New York, all the 5 boroughs, in May. So this year the topic is women in theater and in comedy, and the reason is very simple. The grande dame, the great lady of Italian theater, Franca Valeri, is turning 100 this year. She's still on the stage, she's still active. It happens that both Laura and I have an absolute devotion for the woman, for her intelligence, for her ability to conquer an audience from the stage, from television, from wherever she is. And we thought that nobody could be here with us to tell us about herself, but at the same time, in the spirit of Franca, nobody could do that better than Lella Costa, that, as chance would have it, is going to be the protagonist of a play by Franca Valeri at the Greek Theater in Syracuse, where she will be the Vedova Socrate. That is a classical piece written by Franca Valeri. So there are so many things coming together tonight. And we are delighted to have Lella here. I'm going to leave the honor and the pleasure to formally introduce Lella to Laura. But I just want to invite you to come back on March 10th, so about a month from today, for Italian-American women in comedy and theater. And once again, we're going to have a fantastic guest, Gina Barreca, who is a professor of Italian literature, but she's also an amazing stand-up comedian. And I promise that's going to be another fun and at the same time informative and intelligent evening. Don't miss that. And then the 10 minutes one place is going to be on? April 6th. April 6th. You have everything written on here. You don't need to memorize anything. Use your mind tonight just to relax, absorb, and have fun. Please help me to welcome the director of Kairos Italy Theater, Laura Caparrotti.
Hello. So, Stefano said a lot, and the format of the evening is that I'm going to give you a very brief overview of women in comedy in Italy, in Italian theater, and then we'll have Lella here to talk and to recite some of her words. In 1990, I believe, I don't remember anymore why I'm saying dates, it's okay, in the 90s, I got a degree from the University of Rome, and my dissertation was il monologo satirico al femminile, so much better in Italian, but the satirical monologue female style. And my dissertation, which is still in my home in Rome, was about the first 200 pages are about the history of cabaret all over the world, and then Franca Valeri and everyone else who followed. So tonight I was telling Julian I'm a little bit anxious because it's the first time I'm discussing my dissertation after that day when I got my degree. Okay, but you're not, that is done. So we are here, we are all friends, so I don't. So let's start with the history. So we had, first of all, cabaret is a form of theater that started in 1881 in Paris, and it was a penniless painter called Rodolphe Salis, who decided he was always going to the Chat Noir, the black cat, and in the meantime, I'm not looking at you, I'm looking at whatever. It's okay, it's a nice music behind. This is Paris in 1880. And so he started to, in this very small cafe, he started to basically read every day the news from a newspaper and give some satirical comments. And but the name of this new form of entertainment was cabaret, because then he was inviting magician, shadow puppet, and so forth, singers, and the cabaret was the tray where you were having different kind of food. So that is why it's called cabaret. In Italy, we had the cabaret came later, and it was very big in France and in Spain and in Portugal, and then it disappeared, and then we had the café chantant, and we had a lot of women in the café chantant. They were singing and being a little bit of comedians, but of course in the café chantant they were not. The audience was not looking at a woman for her ability to make them laugh, but, it was something else they were looking for. So in Italy, then we had this wave of the biggest star, the diva of the moment. We had the Sorelle Grammatica, we had Eleonora Duse. And at a certain point in Milan, we had this woman here, who we can really say that was the first famous Italian comic actress. She was from Milan, and she was born in 1877, just to give you an idea. And Dina Galli was born from an actress, a character actress. And she started when she was hired in the company of Edoardo Ferravilla, who was the great actor that was famous to do dialect theater in Milan. And since then, she became very big, very important, just in the comedy field. So much that they, as you can see, they made a stamp about her. And also, she did a few movies in cinema, and they were all about Nonna Felicita. That was her character. So that was the beginning it was the only one, really, that got the name for a comic actress. Then, we go to Franca Valeri. At that age, Franca Norsa was born in Milan in July 31st, 1920. And at that age, her name was Norsa. Her father was Jewish, her mom was Catholic. Only, I will say 10, 20 years ago, she started to talk about her being Jewish, and she survived thanks to the help of someone. But her father and her brother had to go to Switzerland to hide. She tells the story as usual with Franca. Is always like light. Is not very dramatic. It seems that she did it just because it was necessary to do it. It was not so heavy the way she tells the story. Anyway, she started, she was from a good family. They were not poor, they were not, struggling. It was a good family. And the friends of her mom were all, from good families in Milan. So somehow Franca had this talent of looking at people and able to make something that was not just imitating them, but it was more like to take the essence of these people and make it into a satirical portrait. So she started to be the Signorina Snob. And on the other side, you'll see Cesira la Manicure. They are both from Milan. But most important, she started in radio. Now, we are after the war, and in radio we have this program that is called Rosso e Nero. Il Rosso e Nero, that was actually, for the first time today, I discovered that it was hosted by Mario Carotenuto, who was the first person who gave me a professional job in theater. So I was like, wow. And she started to, in 1951, between 1951 and 1953, she was, for one season, the Signorina Snob, so she was going there in the radio and just doing the Signorina Snob all the time, and of course with different moments of her life. And then 52, 53 was Cesira la Manicure. Then what happened? She goes to Rome. She moves to Rome. She has already a new name, Franca Valeri, because her father didn't say no to acting, but he said, just do it with another last name, not family name. And so she chose Paul Valéry, the poet that she loved. And Franca Valeri was born. So she goes to Rome. She meets a young actor by the name of Vittorio Caprioli. She tries to enter the National Academy for Dramatic Arts, but they don't want her. Later on, they gave her an honorary degree from that. But anyway, she goes to Rome. She starts to write about this Signora Ceccioni. Yes, that everyone knows. But it was when she moved to Rome that she did it. And most important, so she was making a name for herself in a world of men, and she was writing her own pieces. She was acting her own pieces. And in the meantime, right after the Second World War, there was this wave that then it was a boom in the 60s of Italian cabaret. The very first one were I Gobbi. I Gobbi were at the beginning Luciano Salce, Vittorio Caprioli, and Alberto Bonucci. You'll see them here. And they were doing sketches, basically scenes. They had this divider behind, so they were changing. And it were scenes about, life, society, all very satirical. A certain point, Luciano Salce leaves, and they miss a person. The trio becomes a duo, and it cannot be a duo, especially because they were going finally to act, to present their own work in Paris. So it was very important. At that time, Vittorio Caprioli was dating this young girl called Franca Valeri. So Bonucci said, why don't you call her? There are many versions of this story, but I'll tell you the one I know. And so they get Franca Valeri, and they have a great success. Now, after that, Franca brought her women everywhere. Le Donne di Franca, they are still very famous and very timing now. And you see here many of them. Of course, the faun is somehow part of these women. And also she started to act, she was in many movies. I remember going into her house and when I was writing my dissertation and seeing all these posters with all the big names, and I was like, they are like looking like mesmerized about everyone that was with her in those walls. Of course, she was the not so beautiful cousin here with Sophia Loren, because at that time, if you were an actress beside, drama, or you were a beauty or you were a good actress. That was basically it. That's true. That's not her. Then she brought her own characters to the screen. In fact, you see Totò Colori there. I don't know how many of you know the film, but she brought the Signorina Snob there. And then she grew, and she did this wonderful movie that I'm not sure if it's subtitles, but you should watch it, which is Il Vedovo, and it's with Alberto Sordi. Alberto Sordi was basically, what is it, the yin and yang and yen, what is it? Is the two really masters of Italian comedy was Alberto Sordi and Franca Valeri. And Il Vedovo is La Signorina Snob, però is a more dramatic version of La Signorina Snob. And then there is just to show you another TV program. Now, Franca is also an opera connoisseur. She directed many operas. She started a competition for young opera singers, and she wrote so many theater plays and solo shows, and she acted until 2-3 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago. These pictures are from the latest plays, I will say. Well, La Vedova Socrate, that Stefano was mentioning before, is from 2003, but Nulla è risolto was 10 years ago, and Il Cambio dei Cavalli was about 8 years ago. And the beauty is, in this one, is that she has a certain moment, she was 90 at that point. And there is this scene where, so she goes in this old house, empty. It's a house that maybe was her house when she was younger. We don't really know. And there is this guy that she finds in the house, and then she says, "Oh, you can be my son. You are my son. You're the son I never had." And actually was portrayed by an actor who, in real life, is somehow a son that she never had. But the best scene to me, it was, again, 90 years old. So at a certain point, she arrives with a wheelchair, and the son and the nurse, they are talking, "Oh, how is she today? Oh, she ate." What do you do when you are in a nursing home and the person you are visiting is not there anymore? So, it's like, it's there, but it's a little bit a vegetable. And it's there, and then at a certain point, she's seated in the wheelchair, and she goes, "Pa," with the hand like this, and "No." So, and the wheelchairs go back like, I refuse to be treated as an old person. And the most beautiful thing to me is she was 92 at that point, and she dressed herself as an old woman, where I found it amazing. How is her irony is her way to, tell people certain things without saying anything. So, of course, and then nowadays she's still writing books. She's dictating books, but she just published a book, and as far as I know, she's doing another one. I think I was told. Yeah, I was told that she may do another one. Now, of course, we had other fantastic comic actresses. In the fall, when I do my class on Italian theater, on the Italian stage, we will do, all the comic actresses from Italy. All of them, no, but we'll go through deeper. And then we had Franca Rame. Franca Rame was famous for, so she comes from a theater family, and she's famous for her political work, but also to have her work written with Dario Fo, or sometime by Dario Fo. So, and she was really, again, when she did it, she was very political in the way she was doing it and in the way she was talking about issues. So political that they opened the Palazzina Liberty in Milano, where a place where they were doing theater, but many other things in the 60s. And then we have Grazia Scuccimarra. Grazia Scuccimarra is, if she knows that I said was, she's still acting, and she was also political. She comes from the 60s, so she was a young girl in the 60s, and she was making all this. The first part of her production, and we are already in the 80s, is mostly about her, and is a look at society before and after, before and now. And that is Noi le ragazze degli anni 60 is the most famous show that she ever done. Then in the last part of her production, there was a lot of, it became very political, and very political towards certain figures of our politics. And then we had La TV delle ragazze, where we can also see our guest tonight. So La TV delle ragazze was a program that was created by Serena Dandini, and it was bringing together all these new comedians, women comedians. It was a moment also where we had, so many other shows that were bringing out a lot of comedians. Years before, there was Non-Stop. That was really one of the first one bringing, Massimo Troisi, Carlo Verdone, and so many others. Here you can see Cinzia Leone, Francesca Reggiani, Sabina Guzzanti. I'll tell you about her in a moment. Angela Finocchiaro, c'era Maria Mele Monti, and so many others. La TV delle ragazze, again, brought focus on the women in comedy in Italian, theater in Italy. This is another picture of that time. And this is about Sabina Guzzanti. Sabina Guzzanti, why I'm talking about only Sabina Guzzanti? Because my dissertation ended with Lella Costa and Sabina Guzzanti. So at that time, for me, they were the new, the new ladies of comic theater. Different from Lella, Sabina Guzzanti was doing really characters dressed, as you can see, as figures that I'm sure you recognize somehow. I also want to give, I want to just say that we also had Anna Marchesini, who started she started in the National Academy for Dramatic Arts. And then she met Massimo Lopez and Tullio Solenghi, and they started this Il Trio. And within this trio, she made so many unforgettable characters. Unfortunately, she's not with us anymore, but she really left, and I'm sure that many Italians, they know, if I ask what is the line that she always says, I'm sure, yes, it's like everyone knows that, right? So she really, and they were all, so one thing that was also interesting is In the late 80s and the 90s, the TV brought us all these wonderful talents. There was not any so much theater, it was TV, really bringing them in our houses and make them be known by us and be loved by us. And today we have, and I'm mentioning Paola because she's coming April 29th here on this very stage. So Paola Minaccioni is a very new woman in comedy, even though I know Paola since the first steps that we were making together. So, but now she has all these characters, and interesting enough, she's doing most of the characters in radio, like Franca did in the 50s. And I just want to mention Teresa Mannino and Luciano Littizzetto, who are, Teresa Mannino, she does also theater. She does both. Now she does mostly theater. And she's Sicilian, and she uses her being Sicilian to talk about life, to talk about different kind of issues. And Luciana Littizzetto instead is from Turin, and she uses her being from Turin and to do satirical monologue, and she does it especially in TV, and she's always in TV with Fabio Fazio. I'm sure you have seen it many times. Even if you have a Rai here, you can see her. So this is a very brief overview, and I love all of them. But I'm very, 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 very honored to call on stage Lella Costa, who is an actress, author, and writer. Some of her most recent theatrical performances are Human with Marco Baliani, who, by the way, performed here on this very stage. So, Stefano, this stage is small, but... Traviata L'intelligenza del cuore, directed by Gabriele Vacis, e Questioni di cuore, based on writer Natalia Aspesi, correspondence with her readers. Most of her theatrical monologues have been published by Feltrinelli, La daga and loden. As I was saying, Lella, this is with me since day one, and since day one of New York. And you cannot find it anymore, only used, sorry. Che faccia fare, in tournée, Amleto, Alice e la Traviata, and she also published Come una specie di sorriso e Che bello essere noi, ciò che possiamo fare. In 2017 she hosted the TV program Mariangela, which is beautiful, dedicated to Mariangela Melato. If you have chance to see it, look at Rai Play or YouTube. It's incredible and really moving. She's member of the CDA of the University of Pollenzo for Gastronomic Sciences. We'll ask about her later on. In January 2020, she is debuting, whatever, in Se non posso ballare, directed by Serena Sinigaglia, inspired by Serena Dandini's Catalogo delle donne valorose, where, by the way, is mentioned Moderata Fonte, where that we did the Worth of Women of. And in La Vedova Socrate by Franca Valeri at the Greek Theater in Siracusa. So, without further ado, I spoke already too much. Lella Costa.
Differenze tra le lingue, mi dai del lei. Ok.
So, can we? Okay, great. Buongiorno, buonasera.
Buonasera.
Come stai? Bene? It's fine?
Sì, molto bene, parecchio emozionata anche perché ho visto dei pezzi di vita non solo professionale. La TV delle ragazze è stata una roba pazzesca farla allora, e anche di vita personale, insomma. Vedere Franca Valeri è sempre un regalo, rivedere Anna Marchesini è un regalo lo stesso, ma è veramente una mancanza, perché lei è stata un'artista grandissima ed era veramente una donna speciale, quindi insomma, per cui grazie a te, è stato proprio bello.
She's just saying so beautiful things about me and other people.
You want us to speak English? Yeah. I shall translate just the beautiful things about her.
Yes.
Nothing else.
No, she's seen Franca and seen Anna Marchesini, who we
if you
lost
trust
very
me,
young.
I think we can try. I can try speak English.
Yeah.
If you think it's
better.
better.
But I was translated. You want me translating?
Yeah, well, it takes less time if we do it.
No,
Just one
I
language.
understand that. But I was this is a gag we rehearsed
yes,
before.
Ages.
Yes. Okay, so when did you start? Did you think of Franca Valeri? And there is a reason why I'm saying this. Did you ever thought of Franca Valeri? Who was Franca Valeri for you?
I have to say, when I started, I was grown up. I didn't have the call from stage at 16 or so, and usually young people have and say, no, I want to be on stage, Mom, please, it's my life. And your mother said, no, take your time, it's not the right job. No, I want to be on stage, it's my life, or that, or I'll die. And she said, no, you better be a hooker. Same working times, and no, that's not what happened. I was studying at university and did different things. And I think that was my great luck, because when I finally found out maybe I could do this job and be this, I had studied and read books and met people, and so I knew one thing: I didn't want to please everybody. I didn't want everybody to like me. I just wanted to speak words, and Franca was there with her words. The difference was that Franca, which is the greatest of all, the greatest, not the greatest woman, the greatest dot. She'd always performed as a character. She was Signorina Snob, she was La Signora Soracitoni, she was the characters she wrote for the theater. I did something that in Italy wasn't so usual, so usual, not even for male performers. I went on stage and started talking as always. All I was telling and talking about was really me, with no character, with no nothing between me and the audience, and that was very, very exciting, very, very hard, and very, very dangerous, and that was brand new. So I couldn't have done it without Franca Valeri. I couldn't have done it without Dario Fo. Probably I couldn't have done it without Renzo Arbore, who is a great friend and a great maestro for me, because it's just la leggerezza. I mean, I think Woody Allen was a maestro for me as well. There is a definition of ironia. I don't know if I can say it in English. It's by Romain Gary, who was a very huge writer of the 20th century. And he says, irony is it irony? Or irony? Irony is a form of dignity, is the demonstration of human superiority on fate. And it's exactly what, I didn't know I wanted to be that, but that fit me perfectly. And all these are maestro for me. And but Franca is special because she could do everything before everybody else. And when we were in this wonderful adventure, which was La TV delle Ragazze, we were all girls, we were all pretty, and that was the first very unusual thing, because that's what you said before. You were the beautiful, and you didn't need not to be special, a good actress, but you were just beautiful. Well, that's not completely true. Monica Vitti, whom I miss very much, was
later.
yes later, but she was there. She was beautiful, and she was
beautiful. It was a little
sexy,
bit
but she-
later, before. I mean, when Sofia
Yeah.
Loren and Gina Lollobrigida were,
Yes.
the models.
Yeah,
Franca
Sophia Loren,
was,
I think, has been a great actress. Not only a wonderful woman. She started studying and learning at a time, and she was brave, because when she performed in Una giornata particolare by Ettore Scola, and for all the movies she's wearing ciabatte and a nightgown or something like that, and she's apparently wearing no makeup at all, and she's so deep and so true, and that's a great job she did. She wasn't only the beautiful woman we all knew. So it's been harder for you women anyway. I think we owe so much to all of them, but especially to Monica Vitti, who is still alive, but not alive. She's not herself anymore. And sometimes I happen to think, I also put it in this last very serious book I wrote about Edith Stein. She's lost her memory of herself, and I think when she's thinking of herself, which name does she give to herself? Is she Monica, her stage name, or is she Teresa, her real name? And I hope we don't forget her, because she's been such a great presence in our life, with all her beauty and her deepness and her way of laughing. And let's stop it.
So you
Talk about me. I was very, very keen on that. You ask me about, I'm talking about something else.
Well,
someone else.
we have to go back. So the first thing, do you remember the first thing you wrote and the first thing when you acted that on stage, when you brought that on stage?
Of course I do. I was terrified because I'd done no rehearsal with no audience, no public, nobody, just, all by myself. And
where?
Home. I opened my debut was in sort of a cabaret place, stand-up comedian places, where while you were performing, people could eat and drink and talk and go to the toilet and come back and talk about what happened into the toilet, and you were still performing, and that was what was hard, but it was very, if you can survive that, you can go everywhere. And it was amazing, because it was the first thing I had written and was performing, and it had to be comic. I mean, it was a rassegna di comicità femminile, and I was absolutely nobody knew me.
It was a festival of women in comedy.
Women in comedy. But I wrote in the end a few lines about how it was so easy for us, for the girls, for the women, to pass from laughing to crying, or to be, sad, and to watch inside and to act differently, and it worked. I think it was brave, because it was not expected. I think I found what I really wanted to be on stage, to be both, to be a comedian, but also not to be especially a dramatic actress, but also if I had to go deep and talk about sadness and sometimes tragedies of life, I could do it. And it's magic, pure magic, when you feel the audience, feel the people who follow you and laugh when you want them to laugh, but then stop laughing in a moment, because they feel, they realize you're changing your pace, you're going somewhere else, but they follow you. And I know I shouldn't say that, but I'm good at that. I know I'm really good.
Well, there is a reason why you're here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So the first thing that play, book, something that we have, if you go as like an archaeologist and you go and you
It's
dig
not very
deep,
nice to
I
in
know.
front of a lady
This
to
is
talk
why-
about archaeology.
I know. This is
Bit
why
rude,
I said it.
bit rude.
I know. It's okay. Is ad lib. And this is really the beginning of ad lib. And so I'll ask Lella to read us the very few,
I might even remember it, even if it's archaeology, as you very kindly underlined before.
Is there archaeology?
Is it?
Is archaeology because you cannot find it anymore. It's not published,
So
which has
what
upset
exactly
me
do you
so
want me
much.
to read?
Yes, here and until
'Cause
here, if you can.
I can't remember. Are you sure it's me? I wrote this.
Yeah,
Do you have proof?
it's in your book. I don't know if you did it.
Sorry, where from and where to?
Where from? From here.
The beginning.
Yeah.
As Julie Andrews said, let's
Yes.
start from the very beginning. A very good place to start. When you read, you begin with
Thank
ABC.
you,
When you
thank
sing, you
you.
begin with Do, Re,
Yeah.
Mi. I can go on forever. You want me to stop? Do, Re, Mi.
Go
The first
on.
three notes just happen to be. Of course, you know it. If I had some charisma, I could bring you to sing all together, but I won't do it anyway. So I was coming on stage dressing with a ballet tutu. Do you call them tutu? No, ballet gown. Yeah, tutu. With a pink ribbon on my head. My goodness, and the notes playing were the music play was La Symphonie Fantastique by Berlioz. And I watched the audience said, "Did they tell you this is a classic ballet?" But a long one, and I'm not very good at dancing, but that was the dream of my life, and that was I began. And then they here want me to read here? No,
Yes.
non è vero?
Yeah, vai.
In italiano di colpo?
Sì, in Italian. You'll just. This is not translated. This is just for you to
Vabbè, no,
listen to Italian.
non è vero, non è davvero un balletto classico. Il fatto è che fare la ballerina classica sarebbe stato il sogno della mia vita. Non l'ho mai neanche detto a nessuno, quindi era difficile che ci riuscissi. Però ho pensato, già che sono lì, mi metto il tutù, che è così femminile, e sono qua. Con quello che in realtà non è uno spettacolo, quello che in realtà è uno spettacolino, che ha una sua storia ormai. Per esempio, è nato in marzo. Non è un'indicazione da poco. Perché è nato in marzo? Perché in marzo c'è il giorno 8, che in realtà c'è anche in tutti gli altri mesi, ma il giorno 8 di marzo è particolarmente significativo perché, come sicuramente ricorderete, è la giornata della donna. Lo sanno tutti, credo ci sia anche la giornata internazionale del panda, in genere di tutte le specie in via di estinzione, quindi noi abbiamo questa giornata, ma veramente tutta per noi, possiamo fare un sacco di cose, ci danno i fiori, ci portano a ruzzolare nei prati, bellissimo. E così in senso lato marzo è diventato il mese della donna, poi tutto marzo. Maggio è quello della Madonna, invece in marzo si prega di meno, ma cosa succede? Che ci sono tutta una serie di proprietari di teatri, di gestori di locali, organizzatori di cultura, che normalmente le donne, specie se da sole, specie se comiche, non le farebbero lavorare mai, ma proprio mai. Invece viene gennaio, febbraio, prendono il telefono e dicono: "Senti cara, ma perché non mi prepari uno spettacolino tutto tuo per marzo?" Giuro, non chiedete al mio commercialista, io fatturo solo in marzo. E così ho fatto appunto questo spettacolino che ha anche un titolo che è ad lib, che ad lib viene dal latino ad libitum, ma è una contrazione di ad libitum, che vuol dire a piacere, e in genere si usa credo più che altro sugli spartiti, no? I musicisti quando trovano scritto ad libitum sanno che possono andare avanti così quanto gli pare più o meno. E però gli americani, che se ne intendono sia di spettacolo che di contrazioni in generale, usano questo ad lib proprio per indicare l'attività specifica di un certo tipo di attore, l'entertainer, il cabarettista, l'attore solista, il comedian, che a un certo punto prende possesso di un palcoscenico, di una pedana, a seconda del locale in cui si trova, e va avanti a raccontare storie, improvvisando, canticchiando, ma senza uno schema preciso, un po' così, giocando anche sul rapporto col pubblico, a volte anche molto a lungo, fino a che l'alba o la polizia non venga a interromperlo. Ed eccoci qua. Ma devo andare avanti ancora?
Volevo un altro pezzettino.
Va bene. Che un po' uno dice, ma perché? Cioè, perché? Infatti, è un'ottima domanda. Come dire, io nella mia vita sono stata funestata e afflitta da una serie di interrogativi esistenziali. Ve li risparmio quasi tutti, ma arriverei all'ultimo, che mi sembra particolarmente pregnante, significativo, del seguente. Ma. Qui c'è scritto lunga pausa, se l'ho scritto io. Avrò avuto i miei motivi, no? Ma. Esiste la comicità femminile? Le donne fanno ridere? Cioè, da pazzi a casa siamo simpatiche, spiritose nel privato, ma quello che sembra mancare invece seriamente è appunto la figura dell'entertainer al femminile. Se io penso al mio grande modello, voglio dire, non è raggiungibile facilmente, ma insomma bisogna avere dei modelli nella vita, no? Io penso a Lenny Bruce. Ecco, se penso invece all'Italia non mi vengono in mente delle donne che fanno il suo mestiere, mi vengono in mente semmai degli uomini, voglio dire, da Paolino Rossi a Enzo Iannacci, Dario Fo, Roberto Benigni, Beppe Grillo. Oddio. Ragazzi, era il 1987, cioè io ho la vista lunga. Perché allora, qui c'è una battuta che allude al fatto che allora Beppe Grillo faceva la pubblicità dello yogurt. Prima di diventare ma che una volta io l'ho incontrato, giuro, su un campo de Chicourmayeur e stava litigando con la povera signorina che vendeva gli ski pass, perché non voleva che sullo ski pass ci fosse scritto la bresaola del negozio locale, perché era pubblicità, cioè una roba. Però lui aveva fatto questa cosa. Neanche Beppe Grillo e Lenny Bruce, troppo yogurt. Non sono quelle le cose che si prendono quando si fa quel mestiere lì. Si assumono altre sostanze, a volte anche bianche, ma di tutt'altra consistenza, non per bocca. Vabbè. Ecco, dicevo, donne, però no, donne ci sono sicuramente le grandi attrici comiche, più brillanti che comiche. C'è stata Franca Valeri, però insomma manca la figura di quella che dice, vabbè, vi racconto delle storie, prendiamo spunto dalla realtà. Probabilmente questo problema della comicità femminile andrà risolto da un concilio ecumenico. Ne hanno fatto uno per attribuirci l'anima, se ne sono anche pentiti dopo 10 minuti. Ne faranno uno per la comicità. Che a me, cos'era? Chi c'era? Wojtyla, suppongo. Sì. È che a me questo Papa qua... Credete voi che donne capaci di fare ridere? E giù fumate nere, no. Vado avanti ancora?
Sì.
Vabbè, ma possiamo anche, come dire, uscire da questa smagliatura spazio-temporale e avvicinarci di un, ma non
sì,
so, una
di
ventina
avvicinare.
d'anni.
So, first of all, one
c'è
of
la
the things
prescrizione per
for-
certi reati.
So one
roba
of the
più grave
things
di questa.
I'm not going to.
You're
I'm
going-
going to leave
let's
and
go back to
leave
English.
Lella alone, and that's it. Beppe Grillo, the line
It's not here.
It's not.
I swear it's not here.
It's
Not here. Not here.
But it was interesting. I think I told Gloria Pastorino, who helped me so much for this event, and we are doing an event tomorrow at Farley Dickinson with Lella as well. And I was, I read again this after many years, and I was like, oh, right, because Beppe Grillo. And you feel, that is...
I knew everything.
Yes.
Before
yes.
everybody
So Beppe
else.
Grillo, for the very few who don't know, is now the lead. Is still the leader?
Who
yes.
knows?
Who knows?
Probably
Of
not
the
him-
five-star
not even himself.
movements, that is one of the political parties and is running the country. And Beppe Grillo was. Yeah, it is. I mean, is at the
Running.
is one of the.
It's running. Somebody's
Is
running.
running. Yes.
Out there.
I know.
Country.
But, let me be polite. Let
Yeah.
me be nice.
Okay.
Yes. So
course.
from that,
Yeah.
what happened then after ad lib, or what happened with ad lib?
Well, it happened that I found it worked and people liked it, and so we decided. I'm very happy because today Katya is here. Katya is my best friend, and we've been working together. She founded this small agency in produced my first shows, and it was called IRMA, which is an acronym for Istituto per la Resistenza alla Malinconia. But many people thought it was a lady's name, and when they called the office, they said, speak to Irma, please. And she's not here, really. And we've been working together for 25 years. What are you eating? Chewing gum. We are forever girls. And and so we decided we should catch the moment and go on stage, go on. And so we produced, I wrote with some friends a show, an act, which was on stage the next year and was called Coincidences. Very nice. And then we, it's just like the story of the little girl who goes to the marketplace and sells a ricotta, and with the money she buys 2 ricottas and then 3, and then she... there was a very funny version of this story by Gino and Michele, the friends and writers and authors, and it was about Gianni Agnelli, and they said, Gianni Agnelli is a little boy, his dad...
Gianni Agnelli was the leader of the Fiat,
well, I think
the car.
The whole
not
world
only
knows.
that, but, very wealthy.
It's Lapo Elkan's grandfather, and... But it's not here anymore, thank God. For him, I think, I should say very awful things happening. It goes to the market and sells an apple, and then with the money buys 2 apples, and then buys a basket of apples, and then his grandfather dies, and he inherits Fiat. And it's not my... No, I went on selling apples for a long time, and but it worked. It worked, and I realized that if I wanted to be on stage and I wanted to do the theater, but I wanted to be political, still political. It had to be in a wider sense. I mean, a theater show must live for one season, possibly 2 or more. And so you can't just, grab what happens every day, l'attualità. You have to fly higher. You have to go somewhere else and catch the spirit of the time you live in, but translate it somehow. And because to do that, TV is much better than the internet. The web is much better because it's faster, but everything grows old so quickly. So if you want to stay on stage, you have to last for a longer time. And that was my my challenge and my great luck, because I realized I wanted to do that, and I wanted to be that thing. And I don't think it's just a question of how many likes you get on the web. It's just how many real people you meet every night, and this very special and unique thing that happens every time. What I say every time I meet people is, do you realize what is happening here today? Like you sitting here and us sitting here and talking won't ever happen again like this. Never. That's so special and so unique in a world where everything can be filmed and reproduced. But this is real, and this is unique, and this is worth. So I think that's why theater, but music still lives, in concerts. Why do you go to a concert? You can hear music much better at home with your headcuffs and that things. But you go there. Why? Because it's something special. Would never happen like this. Never again. Now, that's a big thing.
So, La TV delle ragazze. It was it was the first time.
Yeah, it was.
That was all about women and all about women in comedy and
in
comedians.
Women in comedy,
and some of them also political, some of them less political, because it was like political. I mean, more social issues that real politics. But how was it? And how did you work together with all this? And everyone then went on doing different things.
Yeah, but the real,
and some of them, they're
the
not
real
here.
revolution was that every word was written by women, not only, acted, performed by women or girls, but it was a women thinking, a women writing, women directing. It was crazy, and it was so funny. And we, of course, were always rushing because we were late and we were losing so much time. But every single time, one of us had a problem, a bad period in every sense. Problems with boyfriends, and a few of us had already sons. I had a daughter. We stopped. Everything stopped, and we talked, and it helped. It helped us as persons, and probably it helped the work, because there were new ideas coming along, and new ways of solving problems and doing things. It was great. And it was very touching last year when Serena Dandini did gather together a few of the old girls from the Tubular Ragazzi and new girls from the years, recent years. And it was exactly that. We were a revolution, because it was everything, it was our pace in the world, our path in the world. And you, how do you say that? Not even in Italian, I can't say it any language, but it was that. It was new, it was brand new. It's never seen or done before, and that was very much...
And how was the work inside? I mean, you were writing every day new material, you were coming with material.
Then the red light of the camera went on and something happened. But we really didn't know. No, we were writing all the time and discussing all the time and laughing all the time. And we were so happy and so scared and so strong. And it was a great time.
Did you ever had any problem being all women, problem not be, among you, but with the TV, with, audience saying, oh, this, some...
Well, that was a very lucky season for us, because it was a Rai 3, the director was Angelo Guglielmi, who was a very clever man, a very special man. And so we felt protected by this. La Rete, Rai 3 believed in the project and sustained it, and so, no, absolutely not.
So you went on and you did more theater,
yeah.
And also you started to do theater, not just your material, you started also to...
It took some time, but yes,
yeah.
I started to, well, I'm not good at inventing new plots. I think after how many 2,000 years? No, 3,000 years of theater. It's very hard to think that you can invent something new. Probably everything has just already been written, but probably the best stories have already been written. So you just go and read them and think and find a way to make those stories yours and tell them again from a completely new point of view. And that's what I tried to do for a while and loved to do very much with Traviata, Hamlet, Alice. I also did Othello as well. And it works. And now, it's like being blessed by Franca Valeri, who decided... Until a few years ago, Franca thought that her own monologues would be buried with her. I mean, it was her, or they still have her voice physically. I mean, it's her. But now, a few months ago, she thought, well, no, but that's a pity. It's a shame. I want them to live on. and she asked me to be the Vedova Socrate, and it was really moving for me. I think I've been crying for half day, and not in front of her. She couldn't stand it. But that's it again. It's a great, exciting game. She's displaying with the classic, with this Socrates. And it's an extremely cultivated work. She talks about Platone and Aristotle and Socrates, Aristophanes, as if they were friends. Yeah. And that's special, and that's exciting.
Plato, no, because she...
No, Plato
basically is a Santippe.
Socrates, Santippe.
Yes, Santippe, you say in English.
Santippe.
Santippe, no, Santippis.
Santippe?
Santippe,
like
in
like
English?
Giuseppe Conte.
Okay, so then Santippe. I'm so glad.
Giuseppe Santippe.
Giuseppe. And basically she's coming back from the Socrates funeral, and she's start talking about everyone who was around Socrates, and especially Plato, who
hates him.
Yes, who stole all the material from Socrates. He was just writing everything Socrates said and just published books under his name. And so that is a fantastic piece, and maybe we can bring it back.
Yeah. All of you can come to Syracuse. It's so easy.
It's so easy.
Syracuse in June,
15,
just
yes.
wonderful.
So let's go to Alice, and let's hear. There are a couple of pages, only a couple of pages, that we are going to do from Alice. This is 2005, so we're is not archaeology anymore.
No, I have to say, working on Alice by Lewis Carroll, I mean, that Alice, Wonderland, there were a few themes, a few issues that really hit me. One was time. Alice's time is never ending, is always coming back. And my generation thought we could have all the time in the world forever. And it was very moving and very difficult and very hard for me to realize that we didn't have all the time in the world anymore. But it was great to believe we could for a while. And when I looked around myself and talked to people in those days, it was 2004, the end of 2004, I felt people felt very insecure. There was a huge economical crisis coming up, and we felt it already. But they told us there would be a terrible crisis only 2008, I mean 4 years later, but we knew, we felt. And what people seemed to lack more was time, especially women. If you asked, what do you miss? I said, well, I have no time for anything. And so I wrote this, coming from Alice. Yes. It's a woman, and it was of you or of us.
And if the ones that I have the translation is the part that was about time, and the other one is from Alice, Una meraviglia di paese, is where it says inadequate.
Yes.
So you can follow. Please.
No, guarda che non sono io che non ne voglio parlare, poi mi mette a disagio. No, ma davvero ti interessa? Davvero vuoi? No, figurati, per me è un sollievo. No, davvero vuoi sapere qual è il mio problema? Il mio problema è che io non ho mai un minuto per me. No, per favore, guarda, se adesso mi dici che è una frase fatta mi offendi, perché per me è letteralmente vero. Io non ho mai un minuto per me, certo che te lo spiego. Vedi, se io sgarro sulla mia tabella di marcia, se l'autobus tarda 5 minuti, se trovo la coda al discount, mi si sballa tutta la giornata e non recupero più. No, non riesco più a recuperare, perché poi sai cosa succede? Succede che arrivo tardi a prendere Margherita a scuola, così magari intanto lei si è messa d'accordo con qualche sua compagna per andare a giocare a casa sua, e io a quel punto la strozzerei. No, guarda, te lo giuro, io la strozzerei con le mie mani, perché vuol dire non soltanto che sono arrivata fin lì con il fiatone per niente, ma che devo tornare a casa e poi uscire di nuovo per andarla a prendere dalla sua amica. E no, non posso. È chiaro che se potessi lo farei, non posso restare fuori già che ci sono, non posso, devo comunque rientrare, perché intanto mi torna anche Michele dagli allenamenti, poi sai, lui deve sempre cenare un po' prima di noi perché dopo esce di nuovo presto per il corso di chitarra, così io tante volte arrivo la sera che proprio non ho la forza di andare a dormire, Ma non è stanchezza, magari fosse la benedetta stanchezza, no, è un'altra cosa. È che mi viene una specie di senso di oppressione perché comincio a pensare che domani devo ricominciare a fare le stesse cose, ma non è farle che mi pesa, no? È proprio doverci pensare, lo capisci? Io non pretendo di avere del tempo per fare delle altre cose, no, io vorrei ogni tanto avere almeno un minuto per poter pensare a qualcosa che non siano sempre e solo le cose che devo fare, perché è questo che mi ruba il fiato, è questo che mi mangia la vita, non avere mai nemmeno un minuto per pensare a qualcosa che non siano sempre e solo le cose che devo fare. That all came from an amazing sentence, amazing phrase that Lewis Carroll says. It's one of the queens who says that to Alice and said, "You should have seen the time we had in my times." And that was terrible because we all had a time of our times, and well, it's not here anymore. Okay, let's go cheering up.
No. Oh,
Well, I know this by heart.
no, I felt like that the light was changed. Okay. Da dove vuoi?
Well, I can't tell. Allora, this is about feeling, sentirsi inadequate, which is something every woman knows very well, perfectly well. And I say Alice is a woman e non potrebbe essere diversamente. A parte l'aspetto fisico, che Alice sia una donna, lo capiamo proprio da quello che fa e soprattutto da come lo fa. È curiosa, coraggiosa, un po' sventata, completamente concentrata su se stessa e però in grado di occuparsi contemporaneamente di tutto il resto del mondo. Si dà un sacco di buoni consigli, ma non li segue quasi mai. Sa fare un sacco di cose, ma le sembra di non saper fare mai niente abbastanza bene. Piange con gusto, ma non si crogiola troppo nei suoi dolori. Se sbaglia non ha paura di riprovare, è piena di energia, piena di risorse, piena di qualità, eppure in ogni situazione si sente sempre e comunque inadeguata. O troppo alta o troppo bassa. Le dici magra, si sente grassa. Sono tutte bionde, lei è corvina. Vanno le brune, diventa albina. Troppo educata, piaccion volgari. Troppo scosciata per le comari. Sei troppo colta e preparata, intelligente, qualificata. Il maschio è fragile, non lo umiliare. Se sei più brava, non lo ostentare. Sei solo bella, ma non sai far niente. Guarda che oggi l'uomo è esigente, l'aspetto fisico più non gli basta. Cita Baricco e butta la pasta. Troppi... Che poi Baricco bisognerebbe anche, come dire, aggiornarlo, perché nella prima versione era Alberoni, ma... No, è veramente finito. Cita Baricco e butta la pasta. Troppi labbroni non vanno più. Troppo quel seno, buttalo giù. Sbianca la pelle, che sia di luna, se non ti abbronzi non sei nessuna. L'estate prossima con il cotone tornano di moda i fianchi a pallone, ma per l'inverno, alla moda detta, ci vogliono forme da scolaretta, piedi piccini, occhi cangianti, seni minuscoli, anzi giganti. Alice assaggia, pilucca, tracanna, prima 2 metri, poi è una spanna. Alice pensa, poi si arrabatta, niente da fare, è sempre inadatta. Alice morde, rosicchia, divora, ma non si arrende, ci prova ancora. Alice piange, trangugia, digiuna, è tutte noi, è se stessa, è nessuna.
My curiosity is how men are reacting, because
Ask them, I don't know.
Ask them. Do you know? Do you ever?
No. If they come and see me and listen to me, sometimes I think they just don't come, spontaneously. Sometimes I feel the gun of the wives. Or probably it's something that happens with couples. She says, well, if you come with me and see Lella Costa, then I can come with you and see football matches or something like that. I don't know. I think if they come and see and listen to me, they don't agree with all but that's good. That's obvious. That's normal. I think that male and female are, I mean, it's not, I think many men don't agree with all that goes or is supposed to go with the male way of life, I don't know. So as many women feel more at ease with male behaviors and male standards, it depends from who you are and what you're interested in. And what I'm criticizing, or very often I really don't like, is not single persons, it's not single individuals, it's the way the male thinking, the male way of projecting the world has affected us all, not only women, of course, but the planet itself. And I think it's time for a change, but not for the sake of women, for the sake of the world. Would be better try and change. I mean, that's what they've been able to do in some thousand years. Let us try. We can't do any worse. Wouldn't be possible to do worse than what has been done. So let's try.
We produced and we performed a play adapted from Il merito delle donne, The Worth of Women, that was written at the end of 1500, published in 1600, and it says exactly the same thing. Exactly.
It's not comforting.
No, at all.
You're not filling
all.
me with hope.
No.
And
No, it's true, but it's like, so about saying the same things, I want to close and then we open also the stage. First of all, what is this that you're part of the University of Gastronomic Sciences?
Because gastronomic sciences, I mean, oh, do you cook? No, it's not that. It's a wonderful university founded and invented, projected by Carlo Petrini, who is the
Slow food
founder and soul, and he's a wonderful man, a wonderful person, a wonderful friend. And this university has students from all over the world and prepares them not to cook, but to know everything which goes with food, which goes with the environment, which goes with our, in the end, it's our life itself. And it's been a great honor to be part of it, and very interesting too. You know, it's always such an incredible chance you have to learn things and to find out that worlds you wouldn't suspect would exist. So I'm a very lucky person.
Okay, the lucky person is going to read us. Mi vuoi dare questi
Sì.
così? The last piece is from Che bello essere noi, and is well, you hear the words, and this is è tutto fino alla fine.
Sì, ok.
Let me say for the
Sai cosa? Beh, ma lo leggo in italiano.
sì, lo leggi in italiano.
Allora, ci tengo.
Aspetta un
Sì.
secondo che vi do. It's not easy. It's not easy. So this is those who in the translation papers.
Oh, so.
You say?
È un omaggio, the quote in the,
Yes, there is a quote.
Beppe Viola, who has been a great journalist, a great writer, and very, very brilliant man. And he wrote this, became a song by Enzo Iannacci, and was used as a sort of a jingle in Quelli che il calcio, which was what used to be a very famous sport
Funny
TV
show
program.
about soccer.
Yeah, soccer. And the quote from Beppe Viola is: quelli che le donne sono tutte uguali, quelli che non hanno figli hanno un cane, quelli che ti spiegano le tue idee senza fartele capire. E quelli e quelle sono i miei. Quelli che io sono favorevole alla parità, però le femministe esagerano. Quelli che io nella mia giunta ho il 50% di donne, ma mi ci trovo benissimo. E a parte che sarebbe un obbligo di legge, non si è mai sognato di chiedersi come si trovano loro con lui. Quelli che se una donna tradisce è più grave perché le donne ci mettono il cuore mentre per gli uomini è solo sesso. quelli che una donna che non vuole avere figli è contro natura, quelli che una donna che vuole avere figli dopo i 50 anni è contro natura, quelli che sì, vabbè, il femminicidio, però ci sono anche le donne che uccidono gli uomini, quelli che l'amicizia tra uomo e donna non può esistere, quelli che l'amicizia tra uomo e donna può esistere benissimo se lei è brutta. Quelli che io ho solo amiche donne, e se tu gli fai notare che bastava dire amiche, non capiscono cosa vuoi dire. Quelli che in casa mia comanda mia moglie, quelli che comunque il potere vero lo hanno sempre avuto le donne, perché poi in camera da letto, variante a tavola, ai mariti gli fanno fare tutto quello che vogliono loro. Quelli che, se andiamo avanti così, dovremo chiedere le quote azzurre. Quelli che io a mia moglie non ho mai fatto mancare niente. Quelli che le donne saranno brave in tanti sport, ma per il calcio sono negate. Quelli che se il pilota è una donna scendono dall'aereo. Quelli che sono stati molestati dalla capufficio e siccome non hanno ceduto le sue avance non hanno fatto carriera. Quelli che le donne sono un valore aggiunto, quelli che per una donna è diverso. Quelle che io sono a favore della parità, però le femministe esagerano. Quelle che mio marito stira meglio di me, solo che non ha mai tempo. Quelle che io sono donna e femmina, ma se gli chiedi cosa vuol dire, ti guardano con compatimento e scuotono la testa perché se non lo capisci da sola è inutile provare a spiegartelo e comunque è evidente che tu non lo sai. Quelle che sì, vabbè il femminicidio, però certe donne la violenza se la vanno a cercare. Quelle che io ho solo amici maschi. E se gli fai notare che bastava dire amici, ti rispondono che non è vero. Perché in italiano il plurale è sempre maschile e comprende anche le donne, invece loro ci tengono a specificare che proprio non hanno amiche femmine ed è meglio finirla lì, se no dopo un po' diventa come dove vai al cinema a vedere che cosa quo vadis, cosa vuol dire dove vai al cinema a vedere che cosa quo vadis, cosa vuol dire? Quelle che le cattiverie peggiori nella vita gliele hanno fatte proprio le donne. Quelle che io sul lavoro sono sempre stata rispettata e comunque tante scene per una pacca sul sedere, ma quali molestie, per gli uomini quello lì è un complimento. Quelle che mio figlio non ha stuprato nessuno e poi si sa come sono i ragazzi quando sono in gruppo, è stata quella lì a provocarli. Quelle che l'uomo ha le sue esigenze. Quelle che certo che le donne sono superiori, ma gli uomini non bisogna farlo capire, se no si deprimono e poi per reazione diventano violenti. Quelle che se un uomo fa figli a 70 anni è la natura. Quelle che non votano per le donne perché in politica conta l'esperienza e gli uomini ne hanno di più. Quelle che vorrei tanto innamorarmi di una donna ma purtroppo sono eterosessuale. Quelle che le quote rosa sono umilianti, non siamo mica dei o delle panda. Quelle che per me contano le persone a prescindere dal sesso. Quelle che per me conta il sesso a prescindere dalle persone. Quelle che per un uomo è diverso. Grazie a te.
Grazie a Lella Costa. Sono quasi le 8, there are almost 8 o'clock, but if you have some questions,
please don't.
Anything, comments,
Don't
if you
feel
do,
like
if you don't, we'll go and we'll give another round of applause to Lella if you don't have it. And you can say hi.
Of course, you can
now.
ask me.
Thank you so
Anything
much.
you want.
And I'll see you at the next one.
No,
Thank
no
you,
questions.
Lella. No questions.
No question time.
No questions.
Thank you so much. Grazie da Jacopo.
No,
non ci
c'è
provare.
una question.
Jacopo.
Why is your English so good?
What a male question. So is yours, darling. No, the fact is, I like to speak, if I can, well, foreign languages. But the secret is, I've been dubbing a character in the mother of all soap operas, which was called The Guiding Light. Yes, in Italian it was Sentieri. And I dubbed this character who's been... Wow, that's me, yeah. Riv! Well, what you've been thinking from the beginning today, where did I hear this voice before? That was it. River Shane Lewis, well, she was a wonderful character. She's married all the men of the same family several times, and I thought I wouldn't have any problems in my retirement because she would live forever. She died twice, but not for good. She came back, and she lost a memory for a while, but they all do. And when she got her memory back, she could remember 2 kids of hers out of 3. It was just good. No? Because the first kid, she didn't really... Well, it's a long story. Anyway.
It's a long story.
It's a long story. I've been dubbing her for 25 years. And what was some piece of experience, and this is part of the great things we can do in Italy. We have the best dubbers in the world, but it's horrible because you can't really watch a movie, but not even a soap opera or anything, with the voices that don't belong to the actors, the talent, the people who really act. But I learned how to do it, and it was... I learned English like this. But
But you have a British accent.
Well, of course, to make you feel at ease.
Any other question before she says
So,
yes?
dear,
No?
don't be shy. Go on, ask.
Don't be shy.
Feel
Yes.
free to ask, darling.
Marit. Oh, yes, right. We need it for the camera.
English, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. I don't know if it's a question or a comment, but anyways, you were saying that when you started, it was pretty new for a woman to be on stage and talk about, or, be comic, talking about her personal life. I feel like it's still kind of not really common, or at least accepted by the audience. So I was wondering how you feel about, is it something that has been changing since you started, or?
I think it's probably it's not a question; it's an issue. I think you have to find a balance between really talking about you and your own life and everybody's life, all the women's life. Or, however, it's to find things that you can have experienced yourself, but you have to go out of yourself. I'm not sure I can explain it, but I think this is the question. This is a problem that if you can't really think that all the audience is interested in what you have to say, whatever it happened to you. I don't know. You have to be in the word if you want to talk about the word. You have to live like other people if you want to talk, to think that really are part of the life of people's lives. And it's a bit of a contradiction, because very often people do my job, don't live real lives, don't share real problems. And so that's why a few of us really are trustable. I don't know, you can trust them. You feel it's true. It's not, maybe it's not her or his own experience, but it's something real. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just written by someone else or even by yourself, but it's not something you've really experienced. It's not something that really gets into hearts and lives of people, and that's the difference. You have to listen if you want to talk, and if you want to be listened, and you have to live everyday life if you want to talk about that. And that's, there's what I still find is a great difference between the male approach and the female approach to this, is that usually when a comedian, even a very talented comic man, talks to the audience, and it starts as saying, now I'm going to tell you how you are. A woman, maybe she doesn't say that, but what she's thinking is, now I'm going to tell you how we are. And that's a great difference, and it's a precious difference. I mean, it's important, and I think we should value that, and we women, we should work on this. So we are a part. We never call ourselves out of it. We are in it. We are in life, but we have to know real life to talk about real life to real people. But that is theater. I don't know, probably TV shows and movies work in a different way. But this is what I have been experiencing. Even when you talk about classic and character that apparently are very, very far from today's life. But if you read, you know what, I think that every time a person, an artist, a talent, anybody goes on stage as an author, a director, and an actor, in that moment, when he chooses the issues to talk about, the play that he wants to play, it must be very important for him or for her to do that. There must be something that has to do with his life, her life in that moment. It had to be. If you really have that need to do that. And so that's a living show, a living acting, and people can feel it, even if it don't really recognize it, but they feel that's live, that's real, that's happening. I'm afraid I did a mess and couldn't explain, but I really? You're so sweet. Thank you, darling. Thank you so much.
So one last, yes.
So you started now, huh? You never stop. No, my chicken.
Thank you so much. I have a question about, given the sort of climate these days of divisions and polarization, do you find it's harder to reach what's in common through comedy or whatever, even drama? Like you were talking about, it's not about just the women's point of view, but human qualities. Do you think the divisions now make it more difficult for somebody like you who's trying to transcend something like that?
I don't know if it's more difficult. It's different. And so you have to start anew. I mean, you can't work on what you've been working on and you feel, comfortable because you've experimented it for years. But I think every time you have the opportunity of changing and to widen your the subjects you're interested in talking of. I think it's a great opportunity, and it's challenging, but it's worthwhile all the time because it's going on, it's living on, and probably maybe you can even last a little longer, which is all we all hope is happening to us. No, that people go away from the theater every night, and of course. Not everybody will keep all you have given, but maybe just, something, a little hint, something you've just said, and someone picks it up and takes it with himself or with herself. That's the biggest gift and the biggest honor you can have having to do this job, and which is not a job, really. It's a bliss. It's a bliss. Bliss. No, it's not a job.
It's a job. It's all.
Thank you so much.
So thank you, Lella.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Grazie.